Warning, do not take this video and use fact as factional. Everything that is said here is just on my opinion. If you want to flame me, sure, go for it, but it's not gonna help. It's just my opinion on how MiHoYo has on the anniversary awards for Genshin Impact. But anyway, I am Akame, Scarthok, or someone sad. I'm not that big, and my voice is probably not that large. But in my honest opinion, I don't believe we should. MiHoYo deserves to get trashed this largely for their anniversary awards. Like, sure, it's bad, but it's... Personally, I kind of expected it to be this way. Like, I expected the rewards to be something like this, because anniversary awards for games are always gonna start out small, because it's their first anniversary. Sure, first anniversary should be something that should be celebrated massively, but from what I've seen, the rewards for their first anniversary are decent. I don't expect them to be massive or something like grand as pick your own 5-star that's from the permanent lineup, or have 100 free pulls, which is 100 free pulls, which is in my mind very, very weird for their first anniversary of all things. Like, their first anniversary shouldn't be too grand. Shouldn't be as grand as that, like, such huge rewards for a first anniversary. Because if they do something big at the start, what would they do for their next milestones? Think about it. Like, if they do something massive for their first anniversary, then that would... players then would expect something massive for like their second anniversary. Like, it's just unreasonable to expect something grand from the first anniversary. Second of all, I don't think MiHoYo realized how big Genshin would have gone. Like, they didn't expect it to have gone as big as it is. They didn't expect to be a billion-dollar company at this point. They didn't expect to get like millions from people wanting characters, from people spending money. I don't think they expected that. And honestly, when I first saw Genshin, I didn't think it would get as big either. I thought it would just be a game that I would be playing with some friends in a small Discord because it looked cool, you know. I didn't expect it to be as big as it is now. Like, to have expected it to be this big as it is now is unnatural, because games like this, where there's a gacha involved, it's very hard to grow. Like, to expect them to have something massive on their first anniversary is just unreasonable. Because what... Like, if they do something massive, like I said earlier, what would they do for something like their second? Do you expect them to, like, oh, first anniversary, pick a 5-star? Do you expect them on their second anniversary, oh, pick another 5-star? Like, that can't happen. Maybe on their second anniversary they will do a pick a 5-star, but on their first, I don't see that ever happening. I expected a few wishes. I expected, like, their current stuff right now. Like, I never expected anything massive from them. As a, like, anything larger than the rewards we get now is a treat. Like, players should be thankful that we're at least getting something. It's better than nothing, of course. But I'm fine, personally, I'm fine with the rewards. Because, log in for 7 days and you get 10 wishes on at the limited banner. That's cool. That's great. Like 10 um 10 wishes for the premium banner, which switches every 3 weeks. Like that's cool. I can use it, save it up for someone I want. Cool. Like I'm fine with that. Like having those 10 wishes, that's cool. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Um, this event where it's the Moon Chase Tales, where you're doing quests, and most predictively, this will give you 60 primos as well, part 2. This would give you 30 for each one. That's fine as well. Like, we're getting primogems. A cool weapon, cool Claymore, because, and it's a Claymore, keep this in mind, it's a Claymore. And I'm pretty sure one of the most used weapons in Genshin has been a Claymore. And this Claymore is actually really nice when you have a look at its abilities and what stats raise with it. Trail of Delicacies, obviously, it's kind of dumb. I don't have a problem with it. It was kind of stupid to play. It was funny, but primogems, ascension shards, talent books, and then like essentially refined material for that 4-star weapon you get. Like I don't see a problem with it. Like I don't see any problems with what they're doing for their anniversary right now. Like right now, their anniversary rewards, their anniversary event, like it's fine. In my eyes, it is completely fine. Like there's nothing wrong with what they've done. If anybody expected anything better, then that's your fault. You expected something massive from a company that probably never thought how big Genshin would have gone. Because keep in mind, half of the people that play Genshin are people who came from, who watched it on TikTok, who watched it on YouTube, or who watched it or seen stuff from outside of like social media. Like social media boosted Genshin's popularity really high. Like when you think about it, if you compare it to, I'll compare it to Faker and Order since it's the other gacha game that I have a lot of time with as well. With their first anniversary, they didn't do anything that great either. 30 summons. This is comparing it to the JP first anniversary and the NA first anniversary. Like JP had it harder because they started off with 4 summons and then they changed it like 4 premium currency for a summon, but then they changed it to 3. We NA/global had that since the beginning, if I remember correctly. And if you think about it, and not only that, you got 10 free summons for their Twitter posts, reaching a certain amount of retweets for hitting a milestone. 30 sync quartz. Like that's 10. We're already getting that 10 from. We're getting 10 wishes from from MiHoYo for this event, for the first anniversary. So there's the comparison already. 10 wishes over 7 days. And then similarly, they got 10 wishes on the 7th day as well. Like 10 summons on the 7th day of logging in during the anniversary period. We're getting we're getting primogems from these events, which could also potentially add up to 10. I would do the maths, but I don't want to because I'm lazy. But if you looked at it mathematically, sure, we might not get exactly 20, but that's still more than 10. We're getting more than 10 wishes that we can potentially save up as well. Sure, like these contests are really bad, like like for example, the current one that was released at the moment of this recording, the web event for the postcard, you get a chance to win a Welkin. Well, that's pretty bad. But most other game companies don't do stuff like that. They either and not that don't even do like a daily login claim currency, like if for paying for it. Like some people would love to pay us like it's like a month subscription for rewards. That's what pretty much is. And most companies don't do that. Most companies are just like log in every day, here's some. On Genshin, you can buy that pass, the Welkin, to log in every day, get some Primo Gems. Then you also have the chance of getting more stuff if you complete your commissions. It adds to the playtime of Genshin, because if you just log in and then log out, you're not really playing a game now, are you? You're playing for just the characters. You gotta play a game for the game. Like, if you're just logging in to do wishes or summons to get characters, you have them, but will you play them? Probably not if you're just logging in. That's a good thing I like about the commissions. Sure, kind of gets boring, like, eventually. I will admit, it got boring eventually, but it's still, you're still playing the game. You still play with the characters that you like, that you wished for, especially. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's completely normal, like, for a game to get you to play the game. Like, if a game doesn't get you to play the game, that's kind of weird. It's pretty weird, don't you think? Anyways, back to the first anniversary awards. There was also that whole thing of the art competition to win like an iPad or something. I'm pretty sure, like to win iPads and other devices and stuff like that for the art competition. I don't really know it because I am not an artist myself. I would have not participated in it. Most companies don't do that. Like, we should be thankful for MiHoYo for being like, we want to give back to the players for how much for what they've done. Like, the art that they like, the art competitions, they want to give back to those players who spend time to actually do artwork for the game that not only the people like, but they also like as well. They want to give back to them by giving them gifts, by giving them rewards and prizes. Like, the first anniversary for Genshin is actually really nice compared to most other gacha games on their first anniversaries. Like, currently I don't play that many gacha games anymore because I spend my time on doing other things, and there was just too many gacha games to the point where I couldn't handle it all. I couldn't finish doing my dailies every day. And when I say dailies, for example, in Fate, I would use up my AP, which is resin equivalent, and then that's it. I can't do anything else unless I use like resin slash AP restoring items. And there's very limited quantity for those unless you buy them. So honestly, like, I don't see what's wrong with the anniversary awards. I myself expected them to be not that big because it's their first anniversary. If there was massive now, what do they do for the second? What do they do for the third? What do they do for the fourth? If you expect them to up it every time, like how people initially thought you would get a 5-star, if they, how can they up giving a free 5-star away? If they gave a free 5-star away, just like that, keep in mind, they are still a company. They have to make money as well. They make money through people obviously buying Genesis crystals for primogems. They make money from campaigns and ads. Um, they make money through people downloading their game. I don't know exactly how. Um, I don't know exactly how games get their revenue for downloads and stuff. I don't know it exactly, but I do know for sure is if they just gave out these 5 stars or just like so freely, like on anniversaries especially, what do they have left? What can they do better than a 5 star? Like, if this is the backlash they're getting now, what would have been the backlash if they had released a 5 star initially and then next year they just did the same thing? What would have been the backlash? Would they have, like, if there certainly would have been backlash, like, oh, why aren't we getting more 5 stars? Or why are we only getting one 5 star again? Like, there would have been backlash no matter what they did. Because the game's gotten so massive that people who either A, don't have experience with gacha games, or B, have no, that have little knowledge about like how a business is supposed to operate. Like, personally, what they've done now is reasonable. Like, it's reasonable enough for their first anniversary, because first anniversaries, of course, they're big. The game survived for a year. People would have expected them to have gone something crazy. Like, they would have expected more, like lots of primogems or lots of or a free 5 star. Like, sure, you can expect that, but we're not gonna get that until maybe their second or fifth, if that's how they do it. Like, you can't expect them to just give away one of their marketing, like of getting a one of their business strategies to get people to spend money on the game. Like, it's a business strategy for them as well to make money from having people buy primogems and Genesis crystals. Like, if they didn't have that, the only way they would make money is by what else can they do to make money if they just give away 4 stars and 5 stars consistently, especially like if they gave away 5 stars consistently, like consistently a year, they'd be out of business because um well, maybe not out of business, but keep in mind as well, there are some people who sell accounts, and for example, they could build up all of the primogems of a year's worth of primogems and then get a free 5 star for that account. MiHoYo won't be making money from that. It won't be MiHoYo making money from that. It'll be the people selling those accounts. Like, they want money. It's a business, for God's sake. I didn't expect their anniversaries rewards to be that massive, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, if anything, I would say we're lucky enough to make it so that the currency we're getting from Wishing is the intertwined fate, which is used for limited time banners. If they gave us a quaint fate, which is used for the standard, I think there would be more outrage. Don't you think? Like, free 5 star would have been cool and all, but it's their first anniversary. Keep in mind, when it was Chinese New Year, which was practically their 4 months of Genshin, like, they gave out a free 4 star from Li Wei specifically, from a selection of, I think it was Zhangling, Xinkyu, Beidou, Ningguang, and there's a fifth one that I'm forgetting. They gave a free a free 5-star from the selection of Zhangling, Xinkyu, Ningguang, Beidou. I think that was it actually. From those 4 stars. Xinkyu, Chongyun. Oh, Chongyun. That's who I was forgetting. Zhangling, Ningguang, and Beidou. Like from that selection of 5. Because at the time, Yanfei and Xinyan, I'm pretty sure weren't released, or they were, or if Xinyan was released during that time. It's just that she was too recent, and as a business strategy, it's kind of like doesn't get people to use their primogems on a banner. Like they want people to use their primogems on a banner because that's a business strategy, having people use their currency, their earned currency, their free primogems from to wish for a 4-star that nobody has or somebody wants. If they gave away a free 5-star, like think about it like this. For example, at this point, if you've played Genshin for a long time, you must have at least gotten enough wishes since it's a 1st-year anniversary. If you've been playing since the beginning, surely at this time you would have a 5-star, and understandable. Like you've wished a lot. So then, what would be the point of giving a 5-star so early? So on a 1st anniversary, like you can keep wishing, and then just hope to get a 5-star. Okay, that point was really bad. I get that, but I'm winging this, by the way. I don't have a script in front of me. I'm just exploring my Genshin world, looking for certain things. But basically, if they just gave away a 5-star for free, it's like I said, what can they do to top that for their next anniversary? Right now, there's no higher rarity than 5-stars. There's nobody else has been added to the permanent banner. Maybe next year they'll do that free 5-star from the permanent banner, and then after that, in their 3rd anniversary, free 5-star from version 1 since the start of version 1 to the end of version 1. Like that would be good for their 3rd anniversary. You can't expect them to just dish out like something massive like a 5-star on their 1st anniversary. In terms of like commemorating the event, having a 5-star on the 1st anniversary is kind of just tough, because doing what do they do for the 2nd anniversary? Go with my previous idea for what was the 3rd anniversary of 1-star, 5-star from version 1 to the end, since the start of version 1 to the end of version 1. Like that itself would be difficult if they made that their 2nd anniversary, because look at how long it's taken them to release version 2 as well. Like if they actually no, it would make sense in a way that after each version they can give a 5-star away from version 1 and version 2. Yeah, never mind. Like I'm winging. I'm not here to defend Hoyo or anything, or suck their dick or anything, but I honestly don't see anything wrong with the anniversary awards. And if anything, if you really, 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 and I mean really hate it, and you're not doing it just so you can get something free or just for the memes, if you really hated their rewards, keep throwing your complaints, but if you're gonna expect a reply so soon, if you're gonna expect a reply, think about it like this as well. They have gotten so many bad reviews and so many complaints already that by the time they get to your request, it's probably been amended or probably been fixed or something. Like, there's just so much for them they have to do before they can even consider um, to fix. Like, Kokomi was a really bad like move in terms of like how they changed floor 11 um, to be practically you need Kokomi or a lot of healers. Like that was a really bad move on their part. Like that's just bad mechanics, and I can agree with that. Like that's the but it was their way for showing off how where to use their new character, because when you think about it, nobody really uses a healer. I don't use a healer. I don't use a healer in my main teams. I only use a healer for the Abyss on like floor 12. On some of the floors. Not even just floor 12, just for the floors in general. Like, I don't expect them. Like, they wanted to showcase Kokomi in not only her story quest, but maybe in the Abyss. Like, yeah, it was a bad move. I can agree with that. Like, those kind of complaints are understandable. But the fact you're complaining that not even you specifically, whoever's watching this, but the community themselves, they're complaining about their first anniversary not being like massive. Like, ooh, they're gonna give us 100 free pulls or a free 5-star. Like, it's their first anniversary. Maybe you can expect it in their second, but in their first, there was no way in hell that was gonna happen personally. Because having them give away a free 5-star on their first anniversary, like, it's just somewhat unreasonable. Like, think of it as this: having those wishes or having the game shut down. Like, you should be happy that the game has stayed alive for this long. If you actually enjoy Genshin, you should be happy the game has stayed alive for 365 days, a whole full year. Like, there's no like their first anniversary, they didn't expect to be this massive. They didn't expect to like make so much out of it. I'm sure by their second anniversary, they'll have something more massive. They'll have something even better. Like, for their first anniversary, give them a break. Their game is so massive. Lots of people are playing, are signing up and playing, especially during this time. Like, they want to try their best to like, um, to give out the rewards that everyone deserves, and the rewards that people will like, but it's just not an easy thing to do. It's just really hard to like just just to plan something big for their first anniversary, like to give big rewards for their first anniversary. Like, 365 days, surviving a year of being this popular is really hard, because the community is still growing. People are still downloading the game and playing the game. It's really hard to just it's just hard to like think that they should give out big rewards, because when you think about it as this in a different perspective, MiHoYo was big for Honkai Impact before Genshin. And I swear, half of the people, maybe even more, never heard of Honkai Impact before Genshin. Like, they never thought they would get this big. They never thought that they would have to give such huge anniversary awards for their first. Now, I don't know what they gave for their first anniversary on Honkai Impact. All I know is people, you were expecting too much. You put your expectations really high, but why? Like, sure, it's $1 billion company. Because they've made millions from their gacha sales, from their banners, on first days even. Like, I've seen the statistics. Like, sure, they've made money. Like, they've made lots, but that doesn't mean they can just do something like, oh, free 5-star. Here you go. First anniversary, here you go. Because, like I said before, what do you do after that? It's hard to like, as a small company back then, they didn't expect to. I don't know how small the company was back then, before Genshin, but I don't think they would have expected to get this massive. Personally. Like, yeah. But to clarify my points, at the end of this whole like rant, my, remember, keep in mind, take this with a grain of salt. These are my opinion. These are all my opinion, no facts. But first point, their anniversary rewards are reasonable. They didn't need to be more massive than they are. Like 10 plus wishes on 10 wishes for the event banner, and then or potentially 10 plus because of how you get promo gems from the current event. Reasonable. They give away second point. The fact that they're giving people a chance to win things on their first anniversary, that doesn't happen for other companies. So that's a fact that it's actually really nice of them. Like, I never would have thought in my days of playing gacha games of a company doing giveaways on their first anniversary for their game. Third point, compared to other gacha games, their anniversary rewards is average. Like, it's expected of their first anniversary, and there's no problem with it. That's going back to my first point. Fourth, they didn't expect to be this big at this point. So when they first discussed about what to do for an anniversary, they didn't think to do something massive. Like, keep in mind, they got big from social media. They didn't expect to get this many players. Not many games have this chance to get this big. What else? 5. I missed my points. I don't know what I'm up to, but another point. If you really do have a problem with it, review it. But keep in mind, if you really do have a problem with it, there's still going to be other people who apparently have a problem with it as well. They won't be able to react or like get to your reviews anytime soon if you have a problem with it. Sure, like, all your problems will have similarities to the others, but there is a lot. It's going to be impossible. Not only that, people are just going to keep spamming like stuff that's like pointless practically. Like, there's no point in like saying if you're going to give a review, at least don't say a few words. You have to give exactly what was the problems. Give the cons for what they've done with this first anniversary. Another point. What could they have done better for their second anniversary, or third, or fourth, or so on? Like, if they gave out such big rewards for their first, what could they do for their second? Because their first, yes, it's their first anniversary. It should be massive, yeah. But their second is just a second and third and so on would be just as cool because they've survived for however so many years to get to that anniversary. What could they do to top what they did in their first anniversary if you expected lots of that from them? There's no. You can make so many. You could make many points about what they could have done more for their other anniversaries, but then you have to have that mindset again of what could they do for that for the anniversary after that. It's really hard to give out anniversary awards and make sure that with every anniversary it gets better and better and better. And I guess that's really it for my points. But in general, I don't see any problem with the anniversary awards. And it may sound like I am sucking their dicks and kissing up to them. Sure, go ahead and think that, but I've played many gacha games and I don't find anything wrong with their anniversary awards. Their anniversary awards are quite reasonable. And I know like MiHoYo has a certain bad track record of not giving awards, KFC gliders. But keep in mind, they didn't expect people to have such an interest in the game that they would be complaining about KFC gliders of all things, like something that was supposed to be only in, I don't know exactly which country, but I'm pretty sure it was China or Korea. Might have been China because that's where MiHoYo's from. Like they did that KFC collab. They thought that that it would only be popular for in China and then get only recognition a little bit. They didn't expect it to get so much recognition to get the KFC gliders. Like social media has done so much for Genshin to the point where it's like, oh my, like you don't see this from games like this. You don't ever see this. It's actually like really surprising that they've gotten this much recognition thanks to social media. Like sure, they should give bigger rewards because of how much the players have shown their game and like how they've advertised it, but that's expecting too much. They're a company. They have their set business plans and their set business plans and their set business ideas, like their designs. Like they didn't expect to be this massive. I don't think they even expected to be this massive. So yeah, like give them a break, I would say. Like you can keep like spamming reviews on Apple or the Google Play Store saying we want more primogems or free primogems or anniversary rewards, better anniversary rewards and stuff like that. You can keep doing that, but maybe just give why. If you're just saying it for just because you want them and it's their first anniversary, say why. Because right now, if I looked at this from a company's perspective, why should I have to give complaining little shits better anniversary awards if they don't like them right now? Like, instead of maybe, like, trashing on it really hard as people have been, maybe appreciate them. Like, it's a company, for God's sakes. Like, you can't. They had a set business, like, design of what they wanted to do. They had a set, like, business plan of how they wanted something to be done. This is what they decided. Maybe, I don't know how many months beforehand. Like, don't expect them to. Like, I know there's also a lot of bugs that are still about, but sometimes, like, you have to consider. Sure, it's $1 billion company, but they weren't a $1 billion company. They weren't that big $1 billion company. They were just a company that was known for Honkai Impact, and that didn't have as big as a community as it does now. Like, it's like expecting. It's almost as if this is a really weird comparison, but this is probably going to be a bad comparison, but it's almost as if you're expecting a baby to do, like, they do one good piece of art and then you're expecting them to paint like Da Vinci or Michelangelo. Like, you're expecting them to do more than what they've done. Like, it's just reasonable. Their anniversary awards, nothing wrong with it. That's all I'm gonna say. And that's all I have to say. And yeah. I hope you enjoyed my little rant. 41 minutes. I have no script. I didn't practice it or anything. I just thought about how today I've just seen all the hate, MiHoYo and Genshin, and even like people who aren't technically in the company, like the voice actors, the artists, anybody involved with Genshin is getting trashed on. Like, if someone looks like they're sucking dick for MiHoYo, like I am, they're gonna get trashed on. I just felt like I needed to, like, say something about it. Like, the company, sure, they did it bad from some perspectives, but from my perspective, they didn't. Their anniversary awards, reasonable. Like, I would have expected nothing more or nothing less. I would have, like, nothing less, nothing more. Like, they're average. So, yeah. Like, if you wanna send your hate, go for it. But, yeah, like, if you want to put your hate to something, put it in reviews that mean something, not just free primogems, free primogems, free primogems, or better anniversary awards, better anniversary awards, better anniversary awards. Don't just do that. Give a reason why we deserve it. Because right now, we just look like little shits complaining about not getting what we want. Complain about it better. Don't just give 3 or 5 words in a review. You need to tell them exactly why you think we deserve something better. Stop sending hate to voice actors, the artists. Like, they didn't have a word. They didn't have a word in what we were given. They're just voice actors and artists. People who add depth to the game in terms of, like, the story, and story of the characters. Like, they add depth to those characters and stories that you people want to wish for, and you're complaining about right now. Don't complain to them about it. They don't need so much hate. Like, they don't need it. They don't need people to come at them for what? Better anniversary awards? What can they do? They're just voice actors and story and artists and story writers. Like, don't complain to them about it. Like, I'm sure they would be in your position as well, just trying to understand why Mihoyo did this. Like, give them some slack. Don't complain to them. Like, don't don't be dickheads. Don't be absolute dickheads and just flame because other people are flaming. Like, think about why you want to flame them and why we deserve those rewards. Don't just say we want better rewards. Say, explain why you want them, and also like why we deserve them, especially now after all of you little shits have just been complaining again and again and again. Like, be civil. Like, be reasonable. But yeah, that's it. You can all hate me in the comments if you want to, but I will just think of something to say back to you. Because personally, I have nothing wrong with it. The anniversary awards are average, they are what I expected. But that is all. I have been Akame, I have been Scarthok, I have been someone sad. I have a Twitch where you can complain to me if I ever stream. And I'll see you all next time when I do a video or when I do a stream. Goodbye.